here's a couple of the masks that I made. And they're nice and soft. I'm going to show you real quick how I make these. I needed some non-copyrighted music, but I couldn't find any. So I had to make my own, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So for this mask, I'm going to be using 2 pieces of fabric, both that are about 8 inches by 9 inches. And this is just a cute piece of fabric from a t-shirt that I no longer wear. And I also picked up an extra t-shirt from Dollar Tree, as well as a pack of rubber bands for the elastic sides. I reused some fabrics that I had, and so these ones are mostly cotton, but this one is 100% cotton, and I chose this leftover baby blanket material, the fleece, because it was nice and soft for the inside. But I really like these, and I also, so I used a leftover t-shirt that my son grew out of, and it's 100% cotton, and I left a pouch here so that way you could put some non-woven material. And I've seen people use a dried up wipey, or even take apart a house air vent filter and iron that out. So here's my extra piece of fabric that I cut from a tank top. I am going to be using the hem on this shirt. So for the pocket, the same way that I have here, I used that hem for this pocket, so I just hemmed this piece, and I know I didn't worry about the threads. Okay, so I'm folding this just a little bit. It's not, this is a jersey knit, so it's very forgiving, but I'm just gonna put that right up there, and then I'm gonna cut around it. So that is good, and then the next step is just to hem this piece. So I'm going to sew this hem real quick, and then I'll show you how I fold it. Okay, so now that I have those like that, I'm going to go on the nice side out, and about 3/4 of the way down, I'm going to pinch that and bring that to the middle. Increase it, and do the same thing on the other section, and bring this to the middle. So from this side we have that pleat, and then I will pin this here and pin this here. That. And then again, have it on this side. You can fix it just real easy. I don't like having to iron stuff. I made some other ones with a stiffer cotton, but this was like a jersey cotton. And it is a little bit harder to work with, but it feels better. The kids actually prefer these soft ones than the other ones that I made them. So when it's pinned like that, you can probably straighten this out too. It'll make sewing a bit easier. I guess better than it was, I suppose. Pin that. Pin that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to do the nice side out. And about, put that so you can see. And then, so I'm going to imagine here's half, and here's the 1/4 pieces, the seams. So I'm going to bring this 1/4 piece up. Oh yeah.
Actually, it is a pair.
And the same with this one. Bring this here. I got it today. And I think I'm gonna make that pleat a little bit bigger of a pleat. Like that. And on the side, you can see those pleats right there. So then I'm gonna take my one that I have already done, and with the seam, finished seam sides matching, I'm gonna line them up like that. Okay, hold up real quick. I forgot the rubber bands. This is the point where you want to put them in before you pin your two fabrics together. And put them on top of each other. And then I will pin them together here. And then the same here. Pull this one out and repin it with all of them. And I can flip this over. And I might cut that off just so that way when I sew it'll be a better match. I mean, easier to follow. Or maybe I'll just sew on that side. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. So I'm gonna fix this real quick because I don't want that to be all messed up. Just like that. And that's it. Now we're gonna go. Oh no, I forgot the I forgot the ligas. The rubber bands. Hey, where'd they go? Oh no, Coco. Where did my ligas go? Pause. So first, what I was supposed to do before I pinned these together. Yes? Oh, your slippers are by the door, babe. Good job. So for these ones, it kind of gets a little bit tricky, but I like to pin it sideways. Enough, you gotta remember to give your seam allowance. And then pin it like this. And then I'm just gonna pass the other end through the middle in between the two pieces of fabric. So here I have the rubber band. I should have did this with a nice lighter fabric so you could see. And then since these ones are finished already, it's okay to put these, since these ends are finished already, it's okay to put these closer to the end here. So now I need to do the same thing on the other side, and this time I'm just gonna go ahead and take the pins out and open the whole side completely so that I can show you what it looks like before you accidentally pin them closed without the rubber band. So I just took my rubber band and I did cut them open on the part that they're connected at, and I'm putting this closer to the edge on the sides, on the edges that are finished already. I'm putting the rubber band right up close to the edge as possible and pinning that in place. And then I am also gonna pin all of the pleated pieces together, back together the same way that I have them on the other side. So it looks a little uneven, and so I'm just gonna cut it to make it match and just snip that off so that it looks a little bit better, and it just lines up when I sew it a little bit better and it won't be so bulky. And then I'm gonna pin it right in place, and I have my rubber band here on the other side, and I'm gonna remember to give myself that 1/4 inch allowance and then pin it in place. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like before we start sewing. So here I am at the machine and I am leaving my needles in just to run over the rubber band because it does give a little bit of trouble, and so I backstitch right over the rubber band, and then I'll pull my needle out and then I will sew my pleats, still yet giving just that same 1/4 inch allowance.
Yeah, that's not you, please.
And then it gets a little tricky here at the corner again because I have my other rubber band here. So I'm gonna backstitch. Even though I'm not ending my sewing here, I'm still yet gonna backstitch and try to make sure that my rubber band is in the correct direction. And just doing the best you can. Then I'm gonna put the needle in and lift my foot and pivot. And then you gotta make sure that the rubber band's not in the way, so I just try to feel and make sure that I'm not running over it along the top and bottom side. It should only be on the end side, so I'm just kind of sliding it over with my fingers, and then I will continue to sew. Kind of got stuck a little bit. I probably have the wrong tension for the stretchy fabric, and I'm not using zigzag either, but I haven't had a problem with the thread snapping since it's not really I'm not wearing the garment. Not too picky. So because my fabric likes to shift, I'm just checking to make sure that they're lined up and that I'm sewing on both fabrics, which sometimes with these types of fabrics, they like to shift around, and then I'll check and they're not even being sewn together. So just, check on those things. And then here, so I can feel my rubber band is wanting to sneak up to the top seam. So I'm just trying to pull it away from the top seam because I don't want it to get caught in that area. So I want to make sure that rubber band is out of the way until I need it. And then here, be careful. Get my needle down in there, lift and pivot. And this is right where the liga is, the rubber band. So I'm going to be careful because I'm going to keep my needle in there and let it get there. I'm going to put back stitch and then I'm going to run it over. You can pull your needle out if you want. And just want to make sure I'm getting both fabrics because I didn't cut super precise. And then again, my rubber band is here at the end, so I'm just gonna make sure that it's all lined up. And stretching there with this knit. Very good. Pull that tight. And then get my scissors. Cut that close. I'm gonna pull out the Okay, I'll have to look for that later. And then I'm gonna snip these. And that's it. So, take this. So this is how it looks like now. And I just want to check before I pull it all through that all of the stitching, the corners are good. And you can also snip these corners, but I think with these ones we're okay. And then I'll flip this inside out and pull on the corners there, and that's done. Super cute, pleated, washable, reusable, and then you can stick an extra filter in if you feel like you're going somewhere that you need extra protection, like, I don't know, DMV or grocery shopping. So that's it. That's how you make these very cute and reusable masks. That's it. They turned out really cute and very comfortable. And oh yeah, this one was the Dollar Tree one, so I've still got a lot of fabric left over, and I can make quite a bit of these masks for just a couple of bucks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you find it useful, and thank you so much for watching. Bum, bum, bum. This one is my favorite mask. They're really comfy, washable. That's what I love about them. Flexible, nice fit, and reusable. Very convenient. So I hope that this video helped you, and I hope that you will be making your own mask and stay safe and stay protected during this crazy time. Thank you so much for watching. I needed some non-copyrighted music, but I couldn't find any, so I had to make my own, and I have no idea what I'm doing.